all in between or outside. My name is James, and I will be your humble dungeon master as we delve into that dark, dank place beneath the surface, the Underdark. We, of course, have seen much of the surface of this world. We have seen Midra, we have seen the Clawed Coast, but now we find out what lies beneath. And we're going to start this particular session. I'm not going to do this every session, with some introductions just of who you are so that people can recognize your voices. So we'll start with Tank.
Hello, I'm Tank. I'll be playing Jorah, and you may know me from Hellweir from Cursebreakers.
Exactly. And then we've got Chris being a player once more rather than DM.
Yes, finally looking forward to being a player again on the Monday. Also the DM for Roll for Story, Tomb of Annihilation, and the
Which
other
nonsense.
Sunday game, Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut. So yeah, today I'm playing a little Myconid called Shmoosh, and we'll see what wizardy kind of spells he has prepared today.
And Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie, and I'm playing Midas, the human variant rogue. And this is not my voice.
But this is the accent he has chosen for his character.
No, no.
No, I'm not. No, not really. He's just not 100%, but he still wants to play because he's a trooper.
Yeah.
And then we have our latest member to the Roll for Story roster, Dave.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm playing Amrig, the Dwarven Cleric.
Right. Right. So, with that, we shall begin. You find yourself awakening in a stone room. Your body feels strangely heavy. You can barely move any of your limbs whatsoever, and your vision is incredibly blurry, or perhaps it's just dark, and there is a strange pricking round your neck that you're not quite sure what is. As your vision slowly adjusts, you hear the tapping of a foot on stone, and perhaps in the back of your hearing the sound of whimpering. Your gaze is drawn to that of a purple-skinned elven woman wearing priestly attire and holding in her hand some sort of multi-thonged, oddly thick whip. Immediately, fear spreads throughout your body, perhaps loosening up a bit as you come to realize where you are and what she is. You're in a prison cell, and standing outside the bars is a drow priestess with a drow warrior standing behind her. "Ah, finally awake, are we?" she says with a wicked smile on her face. "My name is not important to you, for you will merely refer to me as the Warden. Welcome to Torthor. You'll be remaining here until I deem you well trained enough to sell to others of my kindred, or, if you meet certain criteria, perhaps to some of the Illithid." Her gaze sweeps over you, and it's clear from her eyes that she shows only disdain and disgust to all of you. "I hope you do not disappoint me." And with that, she turns and begins to walk away, but pauses for a moment and looks over her shoulder as her whip lashes out towards each of you. However, it's not leather like you would expect, and instead coiling snakes which bite into your flesh. As they do, you feel that feeling of numbness and heaviness slowly washing away, as the poison seems to be literally drained from you. "I hope you didn't like the sun too much," she says, obviously to some of you more than the others. "You won't be seeing it ever again." With that, her and her companion walk away.
The mention of the sun, you just see the little mushroom-topped individual tilt their head to the side in confusion.
Yes, so at this point, as you have started describing your character, why don't you describe what the rest of the party see as they look upon your character?
Go ahead, Tank. You start. Go in that order again.
So, for me, you see a human with silvery grey hair, long, sort of tied in a loose braid behind down his back. Sort of average height, average build. What draws you to him is the small crown of horns circling his head, and the one blue and one silver eye.
Ooh. Heterochromia.
Yes.
Yes.
You will also notice that he is garbed in just some plain, pretty tattered homespun fabric. It's nothing that looks particularly fancy. And around his neck, you will see a black collar with a small spider symbol on it. And looking perhaps from your perspective, Smush, or perhaps some of the others, you'll notice that on the inside of the collar are small spikes which appear to be digging into the flesh ever so slightly. And then we'll go to whoever's next in that order.
I think that was me. So, standing about 2 feet tall on the ground, if they hadn't moved when that whip came across, you'd have just thought there was a mushroom growing in the bottom of this cell. But once they start moving around, you can see beneath the large green brimmed cap is a pair of pudgy, stubby arms that end in 2 fingers and a thumb. And they seem to be getting up to their feet again, stubby little vestigial toes, and they're looking around with some sort of perplexed complexion, but it's not like you can read them so easily. They seem to be devoid of a mouth, just 2 large blinking eyes, trying to get adjusted to this dimness, I guess. But yeah, instead of flesh, they're of course made up of strange mushroom-like fungi.
Yes.
Kind of ranges in greyish to greenish tones.
And around, for want of a better word, just below where the eyes are and just above the arms is again one of those collar-like devices.
Ooh. I kind of feel around, trying to stop it from digging into my spongy skin.
But by pulling it to stop it digging into one way, it digs in more in another way. And with that, that brings us to Jamie.
So, as I said, you see a human. He's not in his usual gear because I assume we're just in rags at the moment. But you see a fairly attractive face, probably covered in dirt though. Again, because we're prisoners.
Yep.
And a sort of shaggy but long, coppery hair, with a braid that goes down from front of his fringe. And that's about it.
Right, which brings us round to the last member of our little group. Dave?
Little being the operative word there. Amrig is short even by dwarven standards. Fairly young, although the beard is fully grown. Fairly young. He's only just reached the age that he could actually venture out himself, really. About 3 foot. Big ginger, bushy beard, quite startled at the fact that there is a mushroom walking around. He's just been bitten by a snake and has a collar around his neck. He was just trying to get to the temple at this point and doesn't really remember how or why he's even here. So he's a bit taken aback at this point.
Yeah. With that,
Oh God. If
Yeah.
I can interject, so if you're looking around at this mushroom, if you're like training your eyes on them as they kind of move around, they see you looking at them, and Smoosh immediately sprints away, tries to hide into a corner, out of sight.
Yeah. Next to the
He
very
looks afraid of you, like looks terrified, specifically of the dwarf.
I look equally as terrified
Okay.
of the moving mushroom.
As you guys are perhaps adjusting to your surroundings, a figure, probably of about a similar height to you, Amrig, sort of walks over, except unlike you, with like your probably, despite being a prisoner, at least it's bushy, but it's probably well maintained. It's a nice looking beard. This guy that walks up has blue skin, wild eyes, and even wilder hair and beard, all white, dressed in rags, and he just sort of looks to you for a moment and then just sort of looks off to the side to nothing, goes, "What do you think, Phil? Are these good ones? Should we talk to them?" There's no response, but after a while he goes, "Okay, right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Torthor Prison. I am Dinky, and I am, for want of a better word, your prison liaison. Ignore Phil, he's a bit of a dick, so, have you got any questions?"
Quite a few as it goes. Where am I? What is this place?
Well, that's a nice, simple and complex at the same time. Where exactly this place is, other than it's in the Underdark, is kind of hard to say. I think if you go, well, for want of a better word, north, you might run into the Dark Lake, or you might end up at a Drow City, but for the most part, you're in a Drow outpost known as Torthor. It's a training facility for prospective Drow slaves, or slaves to be sold to Illithid, Duergar, or others that might show interest, though mainly other Drow. Anything
You
else?
feel a little, yeah. I tug on his like clothes, right, like it is trouser leg or whatever, and I look up, and then you just see the cap sort of shake slightly, and releases like a little puff of spores up towards him.
Oh, wait, you're a Myconid. You have belongings? Phil, did you know
You
this?
see a nod.
Oh, right. Well, if I was to take a guess, if they haven't been destroyed, they're potentially going to be in the, prison. Or in the smithy even, not the prison. We're in the prison. What am I on about? Damn it, Phil, you distracted me. Right. Or they could be in some lockup somewhere, maybe being kept up, you know.
You see like a sad look on the mushroom's face. They just sort of hang their head. And then you see it look up again and release another puff of spores.
Oh, how long have I been here? I mean, Phil, how long you've been here a bit longer than me, right? The same time? No, you were here when I got here. Again, he just seems to be talking to no one and goes, Phil reckons like, about 10 years at this point.
10
His eyes
years.
go wide.
Huh?
10 years you've been here.
Phil thinks so. I think it's close to 9, but, you know, he's a bit better with the numbers than me. Because, you see, I'm a bit, well, they describe me as broken, but they keep me around for the purpose of basically doing this, just making sure that you guys know where you are, can answer any questions, and you know what sort of place you're in. I'm Dinky, in case I didn't say.
No, nice to meet you. I'm Amrig. My eyes are still darting all around the place, like looking at everyone that's here and the doors and everything else.
Yes, so I should probably introduce you to everyone.
With a little puff of smoke, a puff of spores again,
Is that how you
up towards
talk?
him.
Just like using spores?
You see the little nod from the creature.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so everyone, this is Smush. But next to you, Smush, that's Bibble.
What the heck is Bibble?
The like weird fish slash frog man just sort of looks around. His big buggy sort of eyes stretching out as he realizes that people. I'm Bibble.
Okay.
Bibble is mother blessed. Yes, very mother blessed. Bibble's a bit of a weird one. He doesn't say much apart from that, really. Right, we also have, up here, we have another dwarf. We have Sarbella Boulder Shield.
As soon as that one is introduced, Smoosh runs away again into the corner.
Well, as you're over there, I suppose I should introduce them next. That's Vinorin. He's a drow. Like, literally in
this
the...
one?
No, this one.
That? That's not a drow.
That's what he
Sure.
introduces him as. Greetings, my name is Vinorin. I was once a member of a high drow household, but now I am here.
Just see Smoosh kind of like shaking his head.
And then we've got Rotmore here. He's a Duergar. Kind of like a dwarf, but a different kind of dwarf to Sarbella or you, Orange Man.
Is he referring to me as Orange Man?
Yeah, because you've got an orange beard.
That makes sense.
And then, last but not least, we have the twins up here, Topsy and Turvy. They're Svirfneblin. I think I pronounced that right. Did I pronounce that right? They just sort of glare at him. As I said, I'm Dinky. You're clearly Orange Man. You're Spiky Head, and you're Goldilocks.
I just have my back turned to him. I'm just like running my fingers around the door.
Yep.
Which, for perspective, what am I looking at? Is this
so this
metal bat?
So this is metal bars, but there's a strange glint to the metal which you don't quite recognize, and you can't see any sign of a visible lock. But pressing against them and trying to like move them in any way, they do appear to be held quite firmly in place. Further describing your surroundings, the room does have a small amount of lighting. There's these like little orangey sort of crystals or perhaps symbols embedded in the wall which are providing a bit of light, and that's enough to reveal some symbols on the floor. What those are, you don't know. But Vinorin's sitting in the middle. One of them, at least.
Oh.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Smush, what is your problem with beards? I mean, you didn't run from me. Oh wait, Sarbella doesn't have a beard, so is it ginger people? I can understand that.
Ginger
I can
people.
understand that they do supposedly not have souls.
Uh, Trying not to get too close to the two dwarves, you see Smush release another puff of spores towards Dinky's direction. And 1 second.
This is going to be an interesting.
Amrag looks at the bottom of his feet. He's like, I've got souls.
Not that kind of soul, like what goes to wherever you believe you go when you die, after dying.
Oh, I can tell you for certain I have one of those.
Oh, well. Maybe that... So that old rumour is false. Huh.
Maybe.
Interesting. I will keep that in mind. Phil, make a note of that. Oh, I forgot to introduce you to Phil. This is Phil. He points to an empty space. He's been here about as long as I have. He's very good at maths. That's about it. He's a bit of a prick.
Okay then.
Can I insight check him to see if he's lying or if he's just bonkers?
Yeah, roll an insight check. Well, first dice roll of the session, I think.
I'm just gonna sort of nod my head and say hello to the one that can't be seen.
He appears to genuinely believe that there is someone there called Phil.
I'm gonna look at the space and be like, "Hello, Phil."
You hear no response.
Yeah, thought so. And then I'm gonna turn my attention to the mushroom fella again. I'm gonna attempt to come down to the mushroom's eye level. I guess it's not very far for me. I can imagine it's about a foot difference between us.
He tries to back away, but he's in the corner at this point.
I'm just gonna like hold my hand out and be like, "Hey, little fella."
You see they close their eyes and their mushroom top is shaking, perhaps with fear, but as it shakes, it releases quite a lot of spores in your direction. And suddenly, as you inhale them, there's a sense of voices in your head, but they coalesce into one slightly high-pitched, fearful emotion. And the emotion is of... Well, it sounds like they say, "Please, don't eat me."
I have no intention to eat you. I'm staunchly against eating mushrooms.
You are?
Yes, quite heavily. I find eating mushrooms is a disgusting. It's a very bad habit. People should not be doing it.
There's an emotion of confusion in your mind, as if this creature doesn't understand why. It's almost like they've heard differently. Doesn't seem to line up with what they've been told.
I mean, if you're basing this off of my people and dwarfs in general, I can't speak for other dwarfs. I can only speak for myself. I'm actually a mushroomist.
Rotmore
You
at
are?
that point.
Some call us mushtarians, but yes.
At this point, Rotmore, the dwarf, speaks up and it's just like, "Oh, bloody mushtarians! You're never gonna grow up as strong and healthy as me. You never get such a nice, lovely colour to your skin. It's why you're so pale."
I think you'll find that's actually due to the pigment in my skin, and I find that very offensive that you would suggest such a thing. As I brush my hand through my beard.
That's what they all say, he says, stroking his own very luxurious white beard, which, despite being in prison, seems very well toned, like well done, like somehow.
So, as this is all happening, these bars have a sheen to them, right?
Yep.
But they're still bars.
Yep.
Can my hands go in between them?
Yes, they can.
How wide are they?
Probably just enough for you to get like your arm through.
I turn to the mushroom and I'm like, how squishy are you?
Very. You feel a puff of smoke in your mind. It speaks like a telepathic link. But yeah, it says very.
That's I'm
That's
gonna have to get used to that.
that's why scared of dwarves.
Let come over here if you could.
Okay.
And I put my hand like on either side of the mushroom. I just not like forcefully, but like give like a squish test.
He does seem to be squishing against it, but as he does, without seemingly any indication, a guard walks out from a nearby room and just sort of looks at you.
Hello.
Greetings. What are you trying to do with Mushroom? Not trying to escape, I hope.
I'm seeing if he's food.
No,
A wriggle.
I would not recommend eating myconids. They are overly chewy.
Good to know. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
And poison.
Yes, and sometimes poisonous. Now,
I
Is he wearing a? Is he wearing like a key bind, like a key belt or a?
was also gonna say that as well.
no, not that you can see.
Does he have anything like hanging by his waist, like a dagger or anything of the sorts?
He has a spear on his back. That's about it.
No, not even a coin purse or anything.
Let me just have a look. Let me check my inventory. Nope.
If not, no worries. But...
No, not in this
Okay.
case. He,
Oh.
I will say that he has a very nice belt on.
Can I try something probably very stupid?
Yes.
I want to try and cast Mind Sliver at the guard.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Roll me a charisma check.
Just straight charisma, yeah?
Yep. Very well done, but not good enough, I'm afraid.
Really?
As
Well.
as you go to reach out to the weave to grab hold of that magic and shape it into this mind sliver, which you would then aim and strike, you find almost like, for want of a better word, it's like that you can feel the weave, but there's like a barrier in between, and it's almost sticky like a spider web. And the more you're trying to push against it and push through it, the more difficult it becomes. And it's only when you stop trying to cast the spell are you able to sort of regain the focus. And he actually looks at you for a moment and just smiles.
Okay, I'll sort of sit down and rub my head where the temple is.
And as you do, you find a small, like, as you rub your head, like perhaps attached to the horns, one of your horns, you find what appears to be a single strand of like spider webbing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that.
Yeah, and as you do, your mind clears.
Right. Can I do a nature or
You can roll me an arcana
something?
check to try to see if you understand that.
This will be fun.
All you can seem to tell is that at least something is stopping you using your magic. What that is not clear, but something.
Okay, I'll just wrap the bit of spider web up and stick it in a pocket or whatever.
Yeah,
Why we see him like pull out the spider web like
yeah.
off his head.
I'll say yes.
Smoosh will like I don't know, instinctively try to reach up, feel if there's any spider web on their own mushroom cap.
There is not.
Oh,
But the drow god walks away, and as he does, thinking about it, as perhaps you're looking around your prisoners, I imagine you would be, perhaps looking at your fellow prisoners, I would like a perception check from everyone.
is there light in here, or are we
Yes,
rolling?
you have
Okay.
20-foot vision.
I also like to resume what I was
Yeah.
attempting.
Whoa,
Yeah.
natural 20.
Yeah. Oh, first
First-
nat
First
20.
20. First roll. First 20. Oh, it's gonna be a good campaign.
Right, so actually, everyone notices this as you're looking round. You would notice that this so-called drow near the bottom, who has spoken in the poshest voice for what you are almost certain is an ogre from any stories you have heard, has a very definite scar around his brow.
And what kind of scar does it look like? Something that's been in like surgically done, or battle scar?
Looks more so. Actually, roll me medicine for anyone who wants to
Okay.
find out more.
I'll give that a go, if that's okay with everyone
Yep.
else.
Yeah, yeah.
So Smush knows nothing. He doesn't know what fleshy people are like. Amrig, looking at it, it looks too precise to be a war wound. You're not sure if it's a surgical wound or perhaps some sort of tribal engraving sort of thing. You've heard of tribes that do that sort of thing. Ritualistic scarrings, things like that. But it definitely doesn't look random. It's definitely purposeful.
Hey there, big fella.
Yes, how may I be of assistance?
Couldn't help but notice the the markings on your head there, and I figure, normally I don't like to point out people's physical appearance too much, but I figure this collar's around my neck, and I'm in a dank, dark prison, and I've no idea how I got here. So to hell with the niceties. What's with the?
That is one of the many mysteries about myself at the moment. I didn't always look like this grotesque beast. I was once as beautiful as any of the drow out there, and certainly more beautiful than Jorlan. But one day I woke up like this and was in here. And some pointed out that scar, but I assumed it was part of whatever spell turned me into this.
So you were not always like this.
No.
This is something since you've been in here. Would you
Possible.
mind? Would you mind if I took a closer look?
Feel free if you like.
I would like to take a closer look.
Yep. Okay, you can roll me another medicine check now you are closer. As you are... Okay, so as I've said, one of the... Well, technically this is semi-homebrew, but as we should all know, a Nat 1 outside of combat is not a failure. But
Oh.
for me, a Nat 1, even if it is a success, is the worst possible success. In this case, it is a failure, but you can't identify this wound, and as you're looking closer, your fingers press against it, and he suddenly, winces in pain, and I'm just gonna give me a dex save, actually. Okay, you manage to sort of. He sort of tosses you away, and you manage to, with some sort of dwarven skill from combat or training, you manage to land it into a roll so you don't take any damage. But he sort of looks at you and then goes and like stands in the corner, like as far away from you as he can. He looks
Oh,
distrustful.
oh, my apologies. My apologies. I did not mean to cause any harm to yourself. Um,
He glares.
I'm gonna look at Smoosh and be like, any help here?
At the moment,
Smush is currently on Midas's hand.
and I take my other hand and I try and like carefully curl the mushroom head down at the sides and see if I can fit him through the bars.
Again, as you go to
Just as an attempt while the guy is gone,
roll me
and then-
a sleight of hand check.
and then I'm going to try and pull him back through just as a tester.
Yeah.
Sleight
I
of
pull myself smaller, trying to like assist him with it.
Yeah, so roll again. We'll say you have a
7.
yeah. So you got 17
Like-
for your first roll. Okay, so you can definitely get him through, but the moment he starts to get through, the door opens. You manage to pull him back in time before as the drow pokes his head out, and he just sort of looks at you for a moment, smiles, and then walks back.
He just hears me go, nom 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 nom.
Yeah, and
We stand away at that.
and
I pat him on the head quick before he leaves. I was like, not actually.
why didn't
Hmm.
there it is.
So, as regards to the ogre, right?
Yeah.
Smush is gonna go over to him and I guess release some more spores to see if I can, well, rapport spores.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can talk telepathically. See if there's anything messed up inside that head of his.
Okay.
I'll just ask, you okay?
I am fine, little one. It is just your friend there, his curiosity, or perhaps, yes, curiosity is the word. In this case, was perhaps not measured with the right amount of care. But as he's saying this, there is, like, because you're talking to him telepathically instead, he's thinking his thoughts to you. There's a slight distortion to his voice, like, and for want of a better word, it almost sounds squishy. Or no, not squishy.
Like squelching?
Yeah, like sticky or squelchy.
Oh. Is that something I would recognize? Like a mushroom? Being a
it's
Underdark denizen?
Roll me a history check.
Okay, sure. 11.
You've heard rumors of squelchy things, but having not really been outside your circle much,
No.
they're just stories. But the only thing you can think, but what's odd is what you've heard is that the squelchy ones are mindless. So the fact that this one clearly, if this one is somehow one of these squelchy ones you've heard of, then your stories are wrong. Or perhaps he's not one of them and just has a squelchiness to him.
there's been a lot of stories that have already been proven wrong so far, such as like dwarves eating myconids.
Yep.
But okay, so he just thinks about this for a moment and then goes, "Oh, if you feel funny, let us know. Okay?"
I will, little one. But I would advise you to not think on escape attempts as simple as going through the bars. They always seem to know. I even broke them once and they were ready.
Seems that way.
And there is more
Okay.
than one of them in there.
When you say they were ready, how many? You said there were more than one. How many roughly?
From when I attempted, there are at least 3 drow like with the spears and a young one by the name of Asher who appears to be some sort of who is a priestess in training. That appears to be about it. I know this.
You seem to be quite knowledgeable. If anyone causes a ruckus in here, how many of them come in?
Well, normally I would only take a few of them. There's no one in here normally that significant apart from maybe myself and Rotmore, but his skills are somewhat deteriorated. Let me have a think. If the from my time here, I've seen a couple of scouts. Um, Probably about another, I don't know, 8 more guards like the ones you've seen. There's obviously the warden herself, her close personal henchman, sure. There's Jorlan, and then there's a couple of other more elites, such as the Sturge Master.
Yeah, but I mean specifically, if there was a ruckus in here,
It
how
would
many come in?
it would depend on the ruckus, but
Say one of us died
well, if
in
one of you,
quotation.
then you would likely
I think
get the 5 of them that are nearby, at least.
seemed like too many.
Yes, the guards, perhaps with a bit of preparation, you might be able to deal with, but with Asher backing them up, that would prove difficult.
What about if one escaped?
Well, and at this point, Dinky perks up and goes, "Well, if someone escapes and they're caught, which is always the case, then it's feeding time."
What does that? Well, no, I mean like, if one was to escape, would any come into this room?
Um, they would they would probably come in to try to make sure that the prison is secure. Probably a couple of the elites would come in, whilst the warden herself with Shaw would probably go and chase down whoever left. So that would, in theory, at least lessen the numbers, but I suspect their
So,
security would be heightened at the same time.
so we'd be looking at two, but in
Possibly.
units. Hmm. Hey,
And
big guy.
yes,
You look like the type that is only really into meat.
I do enjoy meat. I did used to enjoy a variety of dishes, but this new body seems to enjoy meat the most.
So you wouldn't swallow a mushroom, right?
No,
Could you open your mouth a second?
he does so.
How big is the space within his mouth?
Um, Considering Smush is small and he's large, if Smush was able to curl himself up, he might be able to fit kind of like You know, like when a gerbil hides something in its mouth. I think it's gerbil, squirrel.
Yeah,
You know, something like that.
but not carved up. Just in general, just
Yeah,
would smush fit in his mouth.
just about. But there'd be a bulge in his cheek, sort of thing.
Ah, I think we can
These
get.
these markings on the floor, are they? If I was to have a look at them, are they anything that
Roll
I've
me
seen
an
before?
Arcana check.
I'm not great at Arcana. Huh.
You have perhaps during your studies, you've come across such runes. Perhaps as you were attempting to um, find out information before your people dug deeper, or perhaps a few other things. You've come across these runes. They appear to be drow runes, so you can't quite translate them, but
Mhm.
you can definitely tell that these are a specific kind of drow rune that you've seen in your studies. There appear to be some connection to actually roll me a religion check.
Uh, this one I can do. I say this, I'm going to roll terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called it.
You're pretty sure they are religious runes. Like they're magical in nature, but they're a sort of divine magic rather than arcane. But you're not sure the god they're related to.
I'm going to put two and two together. Actually, on Jorah's collar, we noticed there was a spider, right?
Yeah, all of you seem to have that same sort of
Are they
spider.
all there?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, two and two together, knowing spiders and deities and drow. I mean, surely we can all pretty much assume that we know who this is.
You've it's sort of the information is there in the back of your head, but you can't quite grasp the name. It's like on the tip of your tongue, but it's not quite able to grasp it. But um, were you saying that out loud?
Yeah, I was kind of saying it in like a hushed voice, but like so that
Bibble
you know.
just looks at you, goes, "Oh, Spider Queen."
Yes, that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yes, we don't like her. Spiders eat frogs.
Dwarfs too, if they're big enough.
And that's what feeding time is.
Oh,
Huh.
You get fed to the spiders.
so
That's where.
Panic.
That's potentially where Ront is right now.
I'm thinking if we, with Smoosh's permission, hide him inside the, in quotation marks, drow's mouth and call out for an escapee, can get maybe one of them to come in here, or two, as we estimated. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What, 10 people in here against two? But don't worry, Smoosh. It's up to you. And the big guy here, he said he's strictly carnivore.
As
Mm,
as
Go
you're
on.
all discussing this, I would like everyone to roll me a d20.
Oh no.
There's definitely a
Just-
visible look of panic on Smush's face.
Yeah. Just while we're doing this, can I just kind of try and kick the floor, see if I can like disturb the runes at all or anything?
You do, but you kick the floor, of course, but they're not really disturbing the runes in any way.
Not
They
drawn
seem-
on or anything.
No,
Then
they seem
it's
to be
kind of.
embedded quite deep.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's all 4 of you. Let me check my. Well, actually, it was meant to be a D30, but that's fine. D20 actually works better for me in this case. So, okay, nothing for you. Okay, Amrig and Smush. As you're
Friends.
discussing this, a spider the size of a tarantula crawls for you, Amrig, out of your beard, and for Smush, out of your mushroom cap. Not quite sure how that works, but they begin crawling along the floor and towards the exit. And as they do, you notice that there is some writing on the back of them.
Can I stop mine? Can I put my foot in front of it or try and grab it?
You can roll me. I'm going to say a sleight of hand check. It nimbly dodges out the way, but I'm going to say because of the
Smush just tries to remain very still, hoping that the spider just thinks I'm a regular mushroom.
yeah, they crawl away, and looking at it, all of you have the necessary language. So you see on it in undercommon runes. In one of them, you see the word trust. And in the other one, you see in undercommon runes, but it's clearly a name. And it's a name you've heard mentioned once, which is Jorlan. But seemingly only you two notice this spider. The rest don't. These spiders, the rest don't seem to have noticed them at all.
Do we notice each other's spider?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so
Shmoosh, how do you feel?
kind of sidle up to him, release some spores. Did you see what I saw?
If you saw a giant spider come out of my beard and your head, yes,
That's the one.
yeah.
One
You
the weird. Trust? Who?
Was that a question to me or?
No, I was asking the dwarf.
sorry. It looked like it said trust, and the other one said Jorlan.
Right. I'm gonna go over to these topsy-turvy snuff
Yeah.
nebulum, release some spores, and connect telepathic link to him.
They
Excuse me.
they look at
Do you
you.
know who Jordan is? Jordan? Jordan?
Their thoughts. There's almost a growl to them.
No.
But like almost something feral, and they go. He's the old head of the guard. Why do you want to know? Tasty treat.
Run away.
You hear them laugh.
Seeing Smoosh run away, I'd kind of like move in front of him.
I bounce into you then, into your boot.
and kind of like get up in their faces and be like, this mushroom's the only person that has actually spoken to me properly since I've been in here, so you don't touch him, all right? going all prison mode now.
Don't worry. Me and my sister only eat red meat. And looks at you and licks your lip.
You're Mushtarians too. Nice. Pleased to meet you.
They look at you, but rather than looking at your hand as if to like shake you or say nice to meet you, they're looking at you with almost a hunger.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's the old guard, the head guard, or at least used to be.
I'll tell the dwarf here.
Yeah.
So your nameplate's not showing, so
Oh, is it not? Let me
no.
fix that. I thought
Emmerich, yes. So I'll tell Emmerich it is the old guard. Head of the guard.
What? Ask him what happened. Did he get eaten by spiders?
What happened to the old guard? Did he get eaten by spiders?
no, he fell out of favour, got himself disfigured, and the warden didn't like him anymore now they weren't pretty.
Ew.
Where is he?
As if on cue, as you say that, he's apparently not where I put him, so I will drag him back on. Annoyingly, that he is not where I put him. But either way, you hear a door open, followed by another door, and you see a drow walk in, who for the most part looks as attractive as any of the other drow you've seen. Apart from that, one side of his face appears to be almost like rotted or burnt away by acid perhaps, or something like that, and very like wrinkled, and almost looks like that side of his face is dead.
Ew.
He steps towards you, looks towards each of you. Right, newbies, line up.
Yes.
It is time for your first job. And Dinky steps back. And I should probably have one senior prisoner come with you.
And you are?
My name is Jorlan.
I look at the other, like, after overhearing what they were talking about.
See Smush give a little thumbs up.
And just
thumbs?
goes, Bibble,
He's above thumbs.
Bibble, you'll do. Bibble. Right. He snaps his fingers and the bars retract away into the ground and into the ceiling. Follow me. Don't think of running away, or it will go the worse for you.
Can you tell what I'm thinking?
Of course, you're a dwarf, I'm a drow. I can always tell what lesser beings are thinking.
Oof.
Interesting.
So, he is going to lead you out. Opens this door. As you all leave, I'll bring Bibble as well. The
Go
door.
behind Bibble.
Bibble follows behind you.
All right.
He. Yeah, let's do that one. He's gonna continue walking, and at this point, I'm just gonna grab your tokens, and I'm gonna copy you onto another page. So let us load which, because I set this up for the other group, but I forgot to set it up for you guys. So, considering, let's put you in here, I think, for day one. The ordering might not be quite right, but I don't care. Let us activate the new scene. He leads you around through the place and down a set of stairs, carved into... They're actually wooden stairs, but there's a seam to almost have the impression of wood. Almost the impression of stone.
Whilst we were walking,
Yeah.
the doors we were walking past, were they like solid doors, or were we able to like see through? Did they have bars in them,
No,
or
those were solid doors.
they're all solid doors? Okay.
Yeah. And the two, like, to the side, like, where the guard walked out of and where you've been told that the priestess in training might be, those were also solid doors. But he leads you down these stairs and he leads you into this room, which you find to be a kitchen. Right.
Smell like it.
I
does...
recoil in horror at the mushrooms on the table.
Yes, there are indeed mushrooms on the table. There are lizards on the table. There are frog's legs, which of course Bibble is. Get back here, Myconid. They're not your kind of mushroom. They're the other kind of mushroom.
I keep running.
He snaps
So, like-
it. He snaps his fingers, and the collar on you digs into you. And you,
A trip.
yeah. And then he walks over and picks you up and goes, "Don't worry, we have no intention of eating you. Just
There's paper on the floor here when I tripped up.
yes."
Can I try and snatch at it as he picks
Yep.
me up?
Roll me a sleight of
Oh.
hand.
Oh. Okay.
Do our clothes have pockets?
Yes, I will say.
Oh no.
You manage to
5.
pick it up, but he clearly notices, but he clearly doesn't care.
It doesn't care. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll just hold on to the piece of paper as I'm dragged back into the room.
Yeah.
Whilst he was out of the room, could I have pocketed a knife?
Yeah. All of you who are attempting to hide things roll sleight of hand checks.
Oh, 100%. I'm trying this. I'm going to try and grab a knife.
Everyone's an opportunist. I love it.
Yeah. He walks in just as he sees you pick it up, Jura. Looks at you for a moment and then stares at you, but doesn't make a comment. And then looks around the others. His gaze seems to linger over where knives were, and then he snaps his fingers and the door locks. And he looks to you, Jorah, and goes, "If you're going to do that, do a better job."
I just sort of nod and stash it.
Now,
Just blatantly stash it.
Now, I can't believe I'm doing this, but it will piss her off, so that pleases me. He walks up to the top of the room and goes, "All right," he'll put you down. He's going to put you down just for the hell of it in the frog's legs.
Yeah.
Which Bibble is staring at in horror. Now,
I'm going to pick Smoosh out of the frog's legs.
now, I assume that at least one of you got my message.
I look at the piece of paper.
You what?
I think back to the spiders.
Oh.
Yes, I believe we did.
Ex-
Yes.
Excellent.
Pull the message.
Excellent.
I just check my reflection in the water.
Yeah. Looks fine. Though one of your going back, what did you roll? as you're looking in your reflection, you see nestled in your hair a small gemstone.
Oh, I'll pull that straight out and have a look at it.
It appears to be a flawed carnelian worth about 10 gold pieces, you would estimate. Looking
Pocket
at
that.
it, you can see that the flaws in it almost make a spider web pattern.
There, I'll
Ooh.
pocket it.
Yeah.
How do I add loot to this?
So, yep. So this is a good opportunity. So, I'm gonna say the knives you stole are the equivalent of daggers.
Yeah.
Is there any butter in here as we're in a kitchen?
Well, that we will get to in a moment. But first of all, so you can click the add button and then on your sheet, Jura, and then you can right click on where it says new loot, and you can click edit item. If you want to import items, then there are 3 little dots near the top. If you go onto that and click on the top option, then you can use that to and then look for a section called items. You
There's
can
another thing you can do even quicker than that. If you also do control space, you'll get a little search field.
oh
And then
yeah,
you can
you can
type
do
in
that.
dagger and just drag a dagger from there onto your
Yeah,
item sheet.
that works as well.
Control space.
Yeah. Now, I have managed to, through a bit of work, get you assigned an easier duty for your first duty. A chance for you to talk in relative private. I had to bring at least one along, but nobody will believe Bibble if Bibble says anything. He's Bibble. Bibble! My name, as I said, is Jorlan, and if there is one thing I despise above your faces, it is the warden of this prison, Ilvara. And so, if only to piss her off, I'm going to... Yes, exactly like that, Smush. I'm glad you can think letters into my mind. If only to piss her off, I am going to assist you to
Escape?
maybe not escape, but at least have the chance to.
Aha,
How well
he's an
that
enabler.
how well that goes is entirely on you. But either way, it will cause her undue irritation, and if you're caught, it will give me some entertainment to watch you devoured by her pets. But otherwise, it will at least, and if you escape, then I won't have to see her face for a while, which is honestly the most priceless gift anyone could give me right now. So,
I mean, if you'd really like, we could gouge your eyes out, and then you never have to see her again.
tempting, but there are other things I like to see. So for now, I am going to leave you here. Your duties here are to tidy the kitchen. The Quackoff's left a bit of a mess. And if you do manage to do that in time and you have enough spare time before I or one of my kindred return, you're welcome to cook your own meal, which will probably be better than what you would get normally. And then he just sort of goes, but whilst there are potential items of use in here, do not overburden yourself. If you are caught too early, then it won't be any fun. And with that, he slowly walks away,
I'll
opens the door.
try to release a spore near him before he leaves.
Yep.
And I'll say,
What's with the magic here? Why can't we cast magic?
Your collars are part of the restriction that will make magic harder whilst you are outside of your cells. Whilst you are inside your cells, there are runic symbols on the floor that are preventing such a thing from occurring. They
Okay.
tangle up the connection to the weave and make it almost impossible. Though spells can be cast from the outside into it. And then he locks the door behind him and leaves.
I turn
Instant.
back.
I go on.
Yeah, go on. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say instantly the moment he leaves, I try and cut the collar off.
Okay, roll me, I'm going to say, in this case, roll me a dexterity check, because this is going to be more precise than anything.
Can I attempt to assist him?
Not, I would, sort of. Rather than advantage, I'll lower the DC a little. But unfortunately, as you try to do this, you find that it doesn't break that easily, and in fact doesn't seem to give at all. In fact, all you seem to succeed in doing is nicking your neck slightly with the knife. Somehow.
Sorry, James. I'm still trying to get this bloody dagger added.
No problem.
So on your inventory,
Yep. I've
press
got-
Control Space
Control space.
and then
load.
type dagger, and then
Yep.
drag this dagger, not the +1s or anything. Just drag that onto your inventory.
Got it. Brilliant. Cheers for that. I was trying to work that one out. Thanks for that.
Alright.
No problem. That is the easiest way to do it and the quickest. So now you are in the kitchen. You obviously, some of you have picked up knives. Bibble is just staring in shock and horror at the frog's leg still.
Mush has scampered off, and he's found this book.
Yeah.
What looks to be a cookbook.
Yes, it is indeed a recipe book. And
Big enough I can hold on to.
it's probably about as big as you.
Okay. All right then. I'll just take. Is there like an inkwell or a quill,
There's a quill,
but no ink?
not that you can see. But
Okay.
one thing, yeah, there doesn't appear to be any ink that you can see. There does appear to be a washroom this way that Amrig looked into. It's got soap. It's got a place to wash. So
Can I wash my face while I'm here?
yeah, feel free.
I see lots of sacks and crates everywhere.
Yep.
Is there a small, like, ingredients pouch or anything like that? Just a smaller pouch.
Roll me an investigation check.
That's my proficiency. Ooh. 22.
Interesting. Okay, just a second. Alright, I'm gonna 22. You do find a small pouch of some simple ingredients. They're mostly like spices and stuff like that. But
Okay.
there are some ingredients. And also
Fantastic.
at this point, I am have I given the players access to that one? Nope, let's do that.
I'll also
now.
be grabbing, if there is any, a stick of butter. And I'll
Yeah.
wrap that up in like a leaf, put that in
Yeah.
the pouch.
Yep.
Is there any plucked chickens or anything like that in here?
No.
Anything that would have had feathers?
No, nothing feathered in here, but I would like you to go to the tables, which you know where is. The rollable tables.
Oh,
And
okay.
there should be one
Okay.
called Items and Loot.
Yes.
And there
Meals made from monster parts.
Yeah,
Okay,
roll on
cool.
that.
Love it. Lightning gumbo.
Yep, you have that is
Oh,
the bit
God.
of paper you have found.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep.
It's like a page out of a recipe.
Yep. Diced behir meat, peppers and onions in broth in a large heavy pot.
Oh.
Finished off with
So,
the behir's lightning gland, which gives it an extra bit of a kick.
so two things.
Yep.
One, is there a frying pan in here?
Yes, I will say there is one in the oven. You can probably see.
Uh, I grab a rag and I pull it out.
Yeah, it's
And
very heavy. It's kind of like one of those, like cast iron sort of ones. Very long
guys,
handle.
if it's not Jonah, Jonand,
Jorah, yeah.
I don't know his name. Not
Jorlan.
you. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
No.
I would have said this in character as well. Like I didn't pay attention to his name. Maybe this is where we could ambush. And I size up the frying pan and wonder if it could be used as a makeshift shield.
It could certainly be used as a makeshift something. Possibly a shield, possibly a club, depending on how it was used.
And I sort of size it up in comparison to like Amrig.
It would probably go. It's fairly big for Amri, but you can imagine him swinging like a big two-handed warhammer, and this would probably fit a similar sort of thing.
Yeah. What do you think?
Do you speak Undercommon, Midas?
I do.
Okay, cool. In that case, I release a couple of spores. I'm like,
Or we could just cook a pizza that's so good and tasty that they like let us go as a reward.
They may intend to sell you as a reward if you make a good enough pizza,
Oh,
which could be worse.
I just want pizza now. We should cook something that's so tantalizing, smells so good that they come in here distracted, and then we sneak out.
Can I look in these sort of pots that are sort of in front of me and
Yeah,
over this sort of direction and see what's in them?
you certainly can. I'm trying to find this.
I'll check these ones over here.
I'm trying to
I
find.
mean,
the
no one can resist the smell of fresh bread, right?
Fresh bread is really hard to resist. So,
Perfect lure.
So, anyone who is looking about once this loads, thing loads because I haven't put this one in.
Stealing that soap.
Yep, feel free to steal some soap. As you're looking about, anyone who's looking about, roll me investigation checks.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. Right then, 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, more this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then anyone who rolled above a 10 can roll me 2d8. Anyone who got below a 10 can roll me a d8. And for those who want to know how to roll, there's the thing at the bottom, and also the syntax is the same as Roll20. Okay.
Sorry, anyone below a 10 can roll what?
1d8. The others roll 2. Okay, so... Okay, so, and then... Midas, roll me a d100. Amrig, roll me 2 d100s. Okay, so you find some wheat flour, Midas.
Okay.
Yep, pretty good flour. Seems to not have any like maggots or anything, and it seems to be well stored.
So I was trying to work that one out.
It's
That
the same
didn't work.
syntax as Roll20. You can just double.
Right, I
click.
did the wrong
You
one.
can also double click on the dice thing at the bottom, and it will just.
Yeah, 'cause I did 1d8 plus 2. I messed that
that's
one up.
fine.
So,
So Amrig,
2d8.
and Amrig, can you roll me 2d100, and then Tank, after you've rolled your 2d8, roll me 2d100. Okay, so Amrig, an 8 and a 56. So an 8. Your first table was that one. You find some cinnamon, Amrig, and some some dragon fruit.
Interesting.
And Jura.
Interesting combination.
Yeah, and Jura, you find
I rolled a 0.
60 and a 2. You roll. You find a lemon. And
Well, when life gives you lemons, I suppose.
Yep. Burn Life's house down.
Yep.
And you also find some cinnamon. Seems to be a lot of cinnamon.
Okay.
I was looking around here for something specific. See a lot of bat wings.
Yep.
Must mean there are bats.
Somewhere, yeah.
Is there any, by any chance, any guano? Like I'll reach right in to the bottom.
Roll me an investigation check. Sadly, no. It appears that these bats were quite well cleaned and there is no guano. But that does mean that there are bats around nearby, so you might be able to find some later.
I'll be keeping my eye out for it.
Yeah. I know
Hey.
why.
Hey.
Is there...
Okay.
And is this range big enough?
Yes. Bibble?
Yeah, Bibble. If we decide upon this, are you in on this? If someone comes in that isn't Jarland?
Bibble looks at the frog's legs for a moment, narrows his eyes and goes, Bibble will squish their heads between his thighs.
Right, good. I have a specific plan for you. And I take the what was it? It was wheat
Flour?
flour, yeah, sorry. And I sort of cut the top. If we hear anyone coming and it's not Jarland, and if you hold on to this and you basically chuck it at him,
Right.
it'll cause, hopefully should cause a cloud that'll distract him. Give us the upper hand.
Bibble considers this for a moment and goes, so, if someone comes in and they are Jorlan, throw the flour at them.
No, Aunt Jarland.
I don't have an Aunt Jorlan.
Are not Jordan.
Right, so if they are not Jorlan, then I don't throw the flour at them.
Then you do.
Okay, Bibble thinks he's got it.
Oh no.
Wait, just to be clear, what is the plan?
If someone comes in and they are not Jorlan, Bibble throws the bag at
I'm sure Bobby's dreams are coming true.
you.
Yeah. No, not at us, at them.
All right. Bibble throws flour at Nasty Drow. Unless they've
Yes.
fallen.
Correct.
Why didn't you say so?
Yes. Oh,
I'm just gonna pick up some of the frog's legs respectfully, put them in the crate, and then kind of push the crate under the table a little bit so it's not
Bibble
staring
nods.
him in the face.
Bibble nods, and he's gonna hop in this thing which looks like it's for washing up dishes and just sits in it.
Is this a a metal spoon?
Yes.
I'm gonna polish it so that it's mirrored, like a mirror sheen.
Okay.
so
Oh yeah.
what we've got here so far is we've got a distraction. We've got a potential hammer.
Is
mace.
there any cooking oil around?
No, not that you can see.
Open up the door a crack.
The door appears to be locked.
Oh. Is there a gap underneath the door?
A small one, yes, but not small enough for you to get through.
No, of course not. That's fine. Um,
Have
Did
we
you
already
look-
searched these crates? Sorry.
hold on. Is there a keyhole for this door?
No.
No?
Nope.
Did he click his fingers as he was locking it?
Yep.
Do I think it's magically locked?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Damn. All right, that's fine.
Listen, Smoosh. If something goes wrong in what we may be attempting to do, you should butter yourself up and try and fit through the drain in the other room.
I'll go have a look at the drain.
Because if this goes wrong, we could end up on the chopping block ourselves.
Is it big enough I could fit down?
If he was buttered.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Is that me too
Oh.
as well?
Yes, but you can't aid on this. This is more just.
No.
Not bad.
I'm intelligent.
You managed to roll the exact same.
You
Yeah.
think it would have?
It'll be a
Yeah.
squeeze, and you might be a bit squished for a few days, and take a bit to fully reform properly. But you might be able to fit down it.
Wow.
Yeah. So you have an escape plan if it all goes wrong.
Okay. It's an option.
Okay. What about this door? Is it? I mean, it's obviously locked as well, but
Yeah, and
magically
again,
locked?
yeah, it seems to be. They seem not to want to give you much chances.
I'll
There's
speak
also a pot
to.
of honey here near the oven.
Oh. I lift myself up. Try to lean in to get a bit. Probably tip over and land
Yep.
cap first in
Yeah.
there.
You do.
And I'm like,
The
pull
top of
myself
your
out.
cap is now sticky with honey, which matches your art.
and now my artwork is accurate.
Yep. And it seems to seep into your pores, and it almost seems like it's not going to come off very easily. In
This-
terms of those crates, no, but having a look, there's just more foodstuffs.
You have the meat in here.
Is there any cooking oil?
No, unfortunately not. No oil.
Any of the meat in here? Is any of it bloody? Like uncooked bloody, like you would with a steak or something?
The fish doesn't look like it's been cooked at all. It looks like it's been prepared to be cooked, but then it's been sitting there a while. The lizards just look like they've had spikes driven through them, so you're not sure if they're alive or not. There's actually a cage full of lizards here.
How are we supposed to cook with that oil?
I want to grab one of these jugs here
Yeah.
and see if we can squeeze some blood into it.
You can try.
I would like to attempt to.
I mean, you did find butter smush, so
I did.
you could cook in butter.
yeah.
Lots of butter. I'm keeping it to myself.
You could also cook in animal fat, potentially.
Yeah. So I'm looking to see if I can squeeze some blood out of these.
Roll me a survival check.
Come on.
You managed to get a decent amount of blood, probably enough to maybe fill half of your average sort of glass. It doesn't fill the jug.
And I'm gonna pour it under the gap under the door. See if it can draw anyone's attention who might pass.
Okay. Interesting.
Whilst
Uh,
he's doing that, I want to try something as well.
and then I'm
Okay.
gonna like get a vantage point up on this, just in case I hear anyone come.
So I want to find a mushroom inside this pile that's about relatively the same size as me. And then I will find another mushroom, chop some bits off of it, dip them in honey and stick them onto the mushroom to make arms and legs. And then I'll find two coffee beans.
You're making like
No.
a replica of yourself.
I'm gonna
Um,
put two coffee beans, glue them with the honey
I'm
on
gonna
for
say,
eyes.
because this is kind of like trap making or something like that. I'm gonna say roll me a nature check to see how well you know your own anatomy.
Pretty, I mean, 10.
It's
I'm
not
also
bad.
proficient in it.
You know yourself pretty well.
I'm also looking in by the way, using the spoon as a mirror to look at myself.
Yeah, fair. Okay, you can roll the nature check again. I'll say you had advantage if you're doing that.
Oh no. Well, it's just a 10.
Okay, you can roll me a survival check with just flat.
Just a flat roll. Okay.
You managed to make a reasonable facsimile of yourself. Anyone who's really looked at you or another myconid probably isn't going to be fooled too easily, but to a casual observer, it's probably like considering Midas hasn't paid. Midas probably would notice it straight away because he's been quite obsessed with you.
I'll let Midas hold on to it then.
Yeah. The rest, like some of the drow, for example, unless they've paid much attention, might not have noticed.
Okay. I'll hold it up to Midas. You like see them tugging on your boot, and
Yeah.
I just hold up this replica of Smoosh. And I guess I speak.
A present? Do with this what you like.
Oh, oh wow. Which one of you is talking?
I know, right? It's so like accurate.
Very, very. I'm just gonna like, I don't know. Is there any more of that honey and just stick it on my shoulder?
You could probably just put it in one of these sacks and just carry that, I guess.
Yeah.
Or if either way, you've got a Smoosh decoy, however you wish to use them. Because
Yeah.
it's the size of me, I'm not going to be able to carry it,
Yeah.
so you can just hold on to it.
And Amrig, you can put some potatoes in the oven.
Amazing.
And lastly, this shouldn't be hard to find, but I'm going to get a bit of rotten food
Oh yeah,
and put that in my...
there's plenty of rotten food around here.
Yeah. Cool. I'll put that in my pouch as well.
Right. Okay. At this point, are any of you actually going to do the task you're assigned and try to clean the kitchen?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have got the...
Slowly and reluctantly, I'm going to start moving things around.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of, I'll help sort of here and there, just dry things off and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine the bit of rotten food I pick up is something lying on the floor that
Yeah.
I'm looking like I'm cleaning, but I actually
Okay.
pocket it.
So those who are cleaning, if you're actually putting effort into it, roll me a survival check. If you're just half-assing it, roll me a survival check at disadvantage.
Just listening out at the door.
Okay. I can't really do a lot to make things.
So I was trying to roll disadvantage.
It's control and click to roll disadvantage.
Right.
But for the most part, cleanings, Jura, you don't make it worse, but you don't make it better. You're just sort of moving the dirt around, for want of a better word. Amrig, you actually managed to get quite a bit of cleaning done. And what else?
I get covered in soapy suds.
Sure.
I mean, I've got a spongy body. I might as well be the sponge.
There you go, Jamie.
Perfect. I'm just listening out at the door in case I hear anyone come
Okay,
about.
so as you're doing this, everybody roll. Actually, as you're the one doing the listening, Midas, first roll me a perception check.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good perception check. Now roll me a D100. 85. I'm considering this. You do
I'll grab
hear
some more food.
you do hear footsteps approaching.
Uh-oh.
Guys, get ready. You two. Ribble. Bibble.
Bibble.
Smoosh doesn't know how much use he's going to be in this scenario.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to hide for now. I'm going to go into the washroom near the drain and peek from the door here.
Yeah.
Jorah's
What?
gonna sort of make it look like he's doing something, but he's got the dagger or the knife palmed, sort of blade up his arm, so it's not showing.
Yeah. You hear a sigh. You hear the footsteps stop just outside the door, and then you hear a sigh, followed by a snap of the fingers. The door opens, but nobody steps in. As you look out across the small pile of blood, you see Jorlan there.
God damn it. Why did you return?
He looks at the pile of blood, looks at you all, and just goes, not a bad first attempt, I suppose. And he snaps his fingers and prestidigitates the blood away.
Could you not, like, leave and send someone else?
Unfortunately not. I'm on duty today. I thought one of the others might be on the later shift, but turns out I wasn't. Did you manage to prepare yourself anything to eat?
With that, Amric's like, oh, yeah, and then runs over to the the oven to get the potatoes out.
He looks to you and then goes, "You have 5 minutes, and then I need to take you back to your cell." And he snaps his fingers, and the door locks again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass potatoes out to everyone.
Yep.
Smoosh looks at you confused for a moment and says,
I can't eat that.
Well, what do mushrooms eat?
Smoosh goes over to the big sack, the big crate of mushrooms, and I'm gonna pull some out. I'm guessing these have been pulled out of the ground.
Yeah.
So, are any of them not washed?
Yeah, some some of them aren't washed. It's a pretty filthy kitchen, so.
Okay. I will scrape away the soil off of the mushrooms onto the ground, onto the floor that we've just cleaned. We just cleaned the kitchen, and then Smush steps in the puddle of soil and looks content.
Protecting you and leading you.
Better.
Yeah.
I
Bowl in front of me. Sorry, James.
That appears to be a bowl of some sort of paste.
How
Pot-
sort of thick and sort of sticky is it?
It's fairly thick. More than sticky, I'd say it's stodgy. It's almost like porridge.
Hmm.
Would you like to taste it?
Yeah, go on then.
It has a faint taste of mushrooms.
Oh, it's a mushroom risotto.
Except without the rice, it just appears to be like a mushroom porridge.
Hmm.
It's kind of
Well,
bland, but there's definitely a hint of mushroom.
For the next 4 minutes, I'm going to gather up as much soil as I can from the rest
Yep.
of these mushrooms.
Can I cast light on one of these pots just next to him? I don't know how I highlight it.
You
It's not
can
letting me.
try, but again, I will need an arcana, wisdom check from you.
I can give that a go. Just a wisdom check.
Yep.
Oh, I was so close.
Unfortunately, like when Jorah tried to reach out and touch the weave, you find that sort of like glass pane that almost feels like spider web tangling up and hard to get through. And as you pull away, like realizing the spell's not going to work, you find a few strands of spider web in your beard.
Clear them away.
It appears that there is still some form of magic restriction, but unlike Jorah, it feels like maybe there is a path through the web sort of mesh, but you just couldn't quite find it.
Mm-hmm.
Midas,
I tried.
Hello.
can you try and help get my collar off?
What would you like me to use?
Use a knife.
Use a knife. Okay. I'll try and not cut
Okay,
you.
I'll say sleight of hand. Well,
Ooh.
21.
you do manage to like sort of position so you're not actually damaging him, but you are, and you perhaps make a tiny sort of incision in the collar, but it's going to take a lot of work to get through it, like more time than you currently have. But it does prove that the collars themselves aren't indestructible, they're just very resilient.
Okay. It's good to know. Maybe we table that for next time.
After
So
the
we have to trust Jorland, right?
That is what the spiders on the back of the spider said.
Okay, but
Yeah, the spiders said to trust him.
what if he wasn't part of our plan? Like, we don't harm him, and like, what if we drag this crate of lizards to the door, and the next time it opens, we release the hounds?
Sorry, James. I've just sent you a quick message on Messenger because I didn't want it to come up in the Twitch chat as well either.
Yeah. Let me just check.
Uh,
No worries.
Like, if I'm gonna be here, I'm not gonna make it easy.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so during this 5-minute period, Jorah goes in the top room and closes the door behind them. And I'm gonna think in this case, roll me a charisma check. Okay, that's actually pretty good. You, without what you're attempting to do does seem to be occurring. You manage to access that sort of thing. But as you try to do so, it seems like the collar reacts to it,
Right.
but only slightly. You think maybe if you could do this fast enough, you might be able to get away with it. But it's going to take a bit of trial and error.
Can I sort of keep attempting it for the next sort of couple of minutes?
I'll give you 2 more charisma checks.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 1.
If anything, you were slower this time. With the second one, though,
And that's 2.
with the second one, you think you've almost got it. You manage to get it up to your chin, but then you feel it retracting, and you realize that if you don't pull it back down, it's probably going to properly stab into you.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
But yeah. And I'm going to say, whilst you guys make the decision on exactly what you want to do next, that's where we'll take a short break, as I want to grab a drink because my throat is going a little dry.
All right.
So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned, and yeah, bye bye for now. Welcome back, everyone. I have turned up my volume slightly, so hopefully you can hear me better, but you won't hopefully be so loud you can hear all of my breathing, because that is often a problem with this. So, the party are currently in the kitchen of the prison, where they have been essentially instructed to finish their meal quickly before Jorlan opens the door again. But they've got a few plans in mind. So whilst you're eating your potatoes, which I'm just going to say at this point are probably just boiled potatoes because you've not had much chance to do much else with them, and your soil in the case of Smush, what would everyone be doing? Like just Bibble's obviously enjoying his splish splash time.
So
I've told you what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I am gonna keep trying to attempt to cut more of this collar off Smoosh. The more we can get done.
Okay,
quicker
roll me another sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's not good. I'm gonna say, Smush, you take 1 point of damage.
And the collar. Oh,
The-
sorry.
The collar does have maybe a tiny bit more, but it's not as good a cut as the other one. You cut more into smush than you did into the collar.
Oh,
The
sorry.
ninth of my health.
Yep.
Do you want to keep trying? I mean, we're
You
getting there.
see, there's a
Chris.
pained look on Smush's face, but he nods. Oh, yeah, they nod.
Okay, I'll
I
give you
just-
one more check.
I just like pet his head as like like
And get sticky with honey.
yep, and now you're sticky with honey. I'm now wondering what honey dipped mushrooms would taste like. Ooh, that one's quite bad. So in this case, I'm actually going to roll a d4. 4 points
Jesus.
of damage.
Oh, I'm half dead. I'm bloodied.
Yep.
the honey. God damn it.
Yeah, it seems the stickiness of the honey, or perhaps the slipperiness of it, messed up your cut, and you basically
Ow.
cut off a
Ow.
large chunk of smush, and it's now on the end of your knife.
No, I take it off and I try and like slot it
Yep.
back in.
That's my neck. Can I have that back, please?
Yeah, I try and slot it back in.
Yeah.
We should wait to do this another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
We'll be back here again, I'm sure.
Right.
Can
Amrit?
I grab one of the Can I grab one of the sticks from the
Yeah.
table, and set it on fire in the oven,
Yeah.
and then I want to hold it to the collar to see if the collar reacts at all.
Roll me a D100.
Ooh.
Whoa. Let me see.
So do you do Midas? I'll also say
Maybe you should hide the fake smush behind a crate here.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
As you try to do this, the collar does react, but it reacts by starting to glow, and then your beard turns invisible.
Oh my. Revealing anything inside, or just
Nope, just your beard and your
Just gone.
dagger is now visible.
Ah.
So there's now just a floating dagger.
Does it come back if I remove the stick on fire?
It
From the collar?
slowly starts to fade back into existence.
Interesting.
These collars, how are they attached?
You're not actually. There doesn't appear to be a latch or anything like that. It's just a circle of metal with like little spikes, and there's like a spider on the front, which might be a latch, or it might somehow be sealed with magic. Perhaps, you're not sure. There definitely appears to be some magic in it because, for one, this room is nearly pitch black, but you're able to see a small distance.
So there's no like lock hole or anything.
No.
Damn it! I was gonna see if I could find something that would resemble lock picking tools.
Speaking of
I'll
that,
still look anywhere.
yeah.
Can I? Because there's
can-
these sticks.
You
Is
can have a
there
look round. There's roll me an investigation check at disadvantage.
Sure.
Because, you're looking for thieves' tools in...
Then. Oh, so 16 is my lowest.
Wow. Shame it was a disadvantage, not advantage. I will say you find You don't find thieves' tools, but what you do find is you find some small bits of metal that you feel you might be able to, if you manage to heat them up and work them a bit, you might be able to make into a sort of lockpick with a bit of work.
Yeah, I'll attempt to do that if Amrig would like to help. Because he's over here anyway.
I can certainly help. I've
Yeah.
I mean, you
Got
are
a-
a dwarf.
I've got a background in smithing. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can-
He does look a bit
Amazing.
odd at the moment because his beard is slowly fading back and it hasn't fully come back in yet. So he's kind of just. It's very odd.
Is there a hammer around here you could use?
In this case, it's not really a hammer sort of work. It just needs to be heated and carefully bent. Like they're thin enough that they could probably be bent by hand if heated enough.
Sure.
But
Yeah. But just in case some of the doors might not be magically.
okay.
I'll attempt
One of
lock
you.
picks.
So, are you proficient in Smith's tools?
No, Adam.
Indeed.
Amric, right? You can roll me a Smith's tool check.
You know,
Flat. I will say it would have been at disadvantage, but I'll say Midas is aiding you.
guy I saw him.
How do I roll a Smith's tools check?
So let me look. Oh, yeah, that's a
You
good
have to
point.
have tools
Yeah,
on your sheet.
but you wouldn't have them. But in this case, you're sort of using the forge as a Smith's tools. So roll me. Let me look at your sheet a moment. Roll me a dex check, just a dex check. I'm gonna say in this case. Ooh, that is very good. And then we'd obviously add
Yummy.
proficiency to that. So, yes, you managed to make one lockpick.
Aha! Here's your lockpick, Midas.
Thank you.
And,
That's perfect if we come across any
yeah,
unlocked doors.
there may be some. But,
Thieves tool. I'll put them in my inventory.
yeah, so after a little bit, the door does open. And Jorlum walks in and just sort of looks around, looks at Smush, noticing the chunk of him, which is maybe slightly reattached, but not completely. And also notices Bibble in the sink and just goes,
They tried to eat me again.
and it seems like Bibble wants to be a dish. Well, he looks over at the thing, at the frog's legs under the table, and then looks at Bibble. I'm sure that can be arranged. And Bibble immediately hops out. It's like, no, Bibble, good. Now, I appear to be missing one prisoner. Where is the spiky-headed one?
I point with my spoon.
Yeah, I'll just walk out the room hearing this.
Right. Now, I do have some bad news for you.
Oh,
It appears that you are due an audience with the Sturge Master.
The who?
The Sturge Master.
And that's what in common?
That
Or
is
undercommon?
that is plain speech. You can roll it. You can roll a nature check to see what he's on about.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was asking.
Smush, you have no idea. You have never heard of these things. In fact, none of you have heard
surprising,
of
as I'm
these.
from the Underdark.
Amrig, you have heard of these. These are essentially
Aha!
think sort of like a vampire bat, but not quite. Think like a vampire bat mixed with a mosquito. And that's the sort of thing. And this person is referred to as the Sturge Master, so they are clearly masters of these creatures.
I'm gonna fill everyone in on what those are.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Yes. Well, I was hoping that you wouldn't have to deal with this, but I'm sure you'll survive. You will. But for now, follow me, and I'm just going to drag you guys over to the next map.
Any advice on dealing with the Sturge Master?
Fight smart.
Can I make another attempt to hide this dagger while
Yes.
we're walking?
Yes,
Fight,
yes, you can.
fight smart.
Yes,
Look,
fight smart.
Yeah, mine is hidden in my hair as well, just like
What
Amric
check
was
do
doing.
you want again?
Sleight
Sleight of hand,
hand.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes, you hide it perfectly this time.
sweet.
Right.
Even you don't know where it's gone.
Up
Yeah.
his butt.
In the prison pocket, perhaps.
I mean,
Fitting.
So, why is that not giving me the
Up
option
your
to...
ass.
Why is that not giving me the option to drag you onto the thing?
Hair.
Why is that not navigating you guys to that scene when I told it to? Oh, no, there it is. It's just taking a while. Oh, but you're in two places at once, which will potentially confuse it, so let's fix that. And grab one of my drow, who is actually in another version of this map, so let me go grab them. Which one of you's broken on the other map? She with broken art. Don't mind me, you're just about to get an insight for those watching into the other group I'm running through the Underdark off stream, perhaps. Hopefully it's not going to spoil too much, but I need to grab someone off of here, and it's taking a while to load, so, yeah. Which means that there's a token on here which is broken in some way, so that slows things down. I found out recently. So.
Alright. Because I can speak telepathically, I can probably plan things without the Drow or anyone else knowing for that matter. But
Yeah. You know what?
hmm.
Screw that. Screw that plan. I'm just gonna bring in a. So, you guys should be able to see something like up here near the top of the map. Might be very dark for you, not much vision. Just gonna make sure you guys are all up there.
Smorky McSmorkerson over there.
Yep, you can see an orc, and you can also.
I can't see a single thing. The only thing I can see, if things stop scrolling away from me, is down here.
You should. Oh, what the? Why can you see down? Because that's.
It's all empty, but I can see the
Yeah.
prison
Oh,
room, corridors.
Why?
You probably need our tokens up there.
I have.
But yeah, I can't see tokens anywhere.
I'm just gonna try this.
And this is really hard to move around using a touchpad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can you see anything now? Tank up near the top.
Can someone actually type so it'll pull me up there? Because oh, hold on.
It should already be pulled up there.
Yep, I can see Midas.
Why is Midas here twice? Actually, go away.
I
Double.
dragged my own token.
And now I can't see anything. I can just see the circle area.
Yeah, that's all you should be able to see. I'm just gonna update
Yeah,
your vision
okay.
again, Jamie. So you should now have a bit better
Oh,
vision.
I can see something here, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But I've got none of our characters here.
Well, I'm looking at your vision, and you should be able to see Smush next to you here.
I can't see any tokens either.
No, there's no tokens at all, James.
What the?
But it did work when I dragged my token.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
maybe
I'm gonna re-drag your tokens out. It's possible that something's happened. Just a sec.
I mean, I can see on the stream where we're meant to be, but I've got
not
nothing
you.
there.
Amrid worked.
That's
see me.
old Jura
Right.
token, not the new Jura token, so that's annoying in itself. Let me just fix that quickly. Give me a moment.
Oh, I can see Dave.
Yep.
Actually, my name is Amrig.
Well, yeah, but it's got Dave under it. Or I can see your dot with Dave.
Anyone watching on the stream is getting an insight into some of the monsters that might turn up.
We paused.
No, we shouldn't be.
I'll move my token for some reason.
You don't have a token currently, or you shouldn't do, which means that there's some sort of syncing issue, which is
Reload.
yeah. Okay, let's update your token, drag you out.
I'm going to
Jura.
reload Foundry in case it's something
Yeah.
on my end as well.
Yep. I'm just gonna drag everyone out. Then Midas, you've obviously not got vision at the moment, but we're gonna give you some. We're just gonna set you up. I'm just gonna set you up as that.
Yay.
Which is how your vision should be whilst you've got these collars on, which is because it's limiting vision. Wait, what the? No, that's not quite right. Why is your vision? Meh. Oh, there we go. And then bring out Smush. And we update his token to have the appropriate vision for in here. Right. And Jordan. Right, now you should be able to see, hopefully, once you load back in. Because I can see.
I can indeed see. I have my own vision, light, and everything seems hunky dory.
Yeah. So let me drag in my lovely little pets in this case.
I'm just waiting for my slow-ass internet to let me back
Oh,
in.
my Sturge tokens are broken. Fantastic. Let me...
Broken how?
The link to the art is no longer working because of an issue with where the art is hosted currently, which I haven't got round to resolving, but I can fix pretty quickly. So,
Should be able to just import a new one.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Plus, I prefer this art to the one I had, so. Right. Why didn't that work? And now it's going
Yeah, I can see things now.
Okay. Right. Slight magical difficulties there. Seems the Pharaohs is particularly strong today. Apologies. So, whilst I'm just waiting for my monster to load back in, should take a few seconds. You are led through the place. You go past numerous buildings, most of which are squat stone buildings, quite well carved, but not as elaborate as what you've heard of other like elven cities, for example, in the past being like. So definitely you've seen better is my point. And you're led into what appears to be a coliseum of sorts. And in this coliseum, you see chained up between two stone pillars a orc who looks very drained, like he looks thinner than he should. You also see, sitting atop one of those pillars, a drow surrounded by these strange four-winged creatures with long, pointed, like, proboscises for stabbing. He leaps down, looks to Jorlan, and just goes, I can take it from here, mate. Bugger off, Jorlan. Nobody wants to see that face of yours. Jorlan glares, but nods before leaving. Now, you've had your fun and games in the kitchen. You gotta cook yourself some meals, and it looks like you had a nice little bite of that mushroom there based on the chunk coming out of it. Very nice. Not one myself for the myconid, but you know, each their own. So, my name is Nilban, and I am affectionately referred to around here as the Sturge Master. And your job today is to fight my little friends here and try to survive. Simple enough. And
what are we fighting them with?
well, I was just about to get to that. To make this fair, once I have set something up, get out of the way, Orc, for a moment. Let's do that. I am going to do a quick... He snaps his fingers, and I'm going to say for each of you, a short sword appears in your hand, which I'm just quickly adding to your sheet now.
Are they a regular size short sword for me?
In your case, it's a dagger. So it functions like a short sword for you, but it's a dagger because of your height deficiencies. Now, I suppose you're perhaps wondering why the hell we want you to fight and why we're giving you weapons to do it with. Because, you know, that don't seem your typical prison etiquette, does it? Well, thing is, we don't know who you're going to get sold to yet. Depends on your skill set. So what we want to see is how good you are in a fight, in case you might be usable in some sort of manner to in combat, perhaps as fodder for a battle or something like that. So at this point, as I've heard people say, roll for initiative. And for those who have not played before, there is a symbol that looks like a fist. And on that, you will find a dice and just click the dice.
Oh. Right.
Wow. One of those Sturges
Lord.
is really eager for your blood. A couple of them, in fact.
Good job I don't have blood.
Yep. So, this is where we're going to begin our combat. Now, a quick explanation for Tank and Dave, who have not used Foundry for combat before, though I think I've explained this to you outside the stream. You can target a creature by pressing the Alt key and clicking on them, and then it will automatically calculate damage and such, and if it hit. But first things first, it is one of the Sturges up, so let's begin the combat. And this Sturge is going to start by flying at the nearest target, which is Midas. And let's see, can it get a hit on Midas? Nope, it tries to, but it misses with its proboscis. Can't quite get through your clothing, perhaps. The next Sturge is going to fly at Jura. So we'll target Jura. And we shall see if we hit Jura. We do hit Jura. And we hit Jura for 5 damage. Hitting him pretty hard. And this thing is now latched into your flesh.
Oh god.
So it's now...
Wish just looked on with horror.
This one will fly at the dwarf. Because, you know, it's obviously seen that its friends haven't done well. And do we get a hit on the dwarf? We do get a hit on the dwarf, hitting them for 6 damage. Ooh, high rolling DM today.
Can't
Also,
see Emmeric's health, unfortunately.
yeah, I'm gonna update that
Where's
now.
the- You need to do his prototype token.
Yeah, I will fix that, but for now, there you go.
Hey.
Right. Which,
He is Dave.
oh yeah, I need to update that as well. That's what I get. I swear.
You had to change it yourself. But anyway.
Yeah. So it is now Jorah's turn. You have a short sword, and you have this weird little creature digging into your flesh, draining your blood.
I'm not proficient with a short sword, am I? It's martial. I'm only proficient with simple.
That is a simple weapon.
Short sword is simple. It's long sword.
Is it?
That's
Okay.
martial.
Right. Okay. It's just I was hovering over a short sword and it's come up martial weapon. That's all. Or martial melee. So I
Yeah.
was just curious. So
Yeah.
that's fine. Right. So it.
I mean, it is a martial weapon.
Is it?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh. In which case, you don't have proficiency with it, but it's for some reason considering you proficient, so I'm going to change that.
If I'm
Actually, I'm just going to double check that.
Simple weapons are spear, sickle, quarterstaff, mace, light hammer, javelin, hand axe, great club, dagger, club.
Interesting. No, you are not
Could have
proficient.
given him a
in it.
javelin or something, or a hand axe.
Nope, he's given
don't know.
everyone the same weapon, regardless of how good they are with it. So you are.
if
No
that's
proficiency
But it's
in-
considering you proficient. Like, oh no, there you go. I have turned off proficiency for it. So
if that's the case, I will throw the short sword away. Just throw it.
yeah,
I'm going to reach my hand into my hair and pull out the dagger to go for the sturge.
you see the drow at the back, like the Sturge Master, look at you for a moment. He's back on his pillar, I'm going to say, or on a pillar, and just goes, "Well, that was dumb. But go ahead."
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Control.
Alt click,
Oh, click. Sorry.
and that will target them. And then you can just click on the item, and it will automatically roll.
Yeah, there should be a dice icon next to the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Very nice. You obliterate this Sturge. Like, you stab it through, and the blood that it drained from you just sort of splatters out everywhere, coating yourself in it, coating Midas a little. But it is dead. And
I'm doing a runner, 30 feet.
okay. Okay. Midas.
So, this one here,
Is not
Managed to
latching to you.
it managed to latch itself to Amrig because it hit. Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go for this one then.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, really?
Yep, you miss, unfortunately.
Awful.
It is still... The dagger perhaps still a bit slippery in your hand due to the honey. Bringing us round to the drow, who just sort of looks at Jura for a moment again and just goes, "There's no use running away. There's no use running away, you realise, but enjoy. That's one tactic, I suppose." Bringing us round to the next Sturge, who was enjoying this half-orc, but seeing fresh blood, will fly, not quite knowing what the mushroom is, will sort of just fly. Actually, that's actually slightly out of his range, I think. Let me put him back. What's their flight range? Oh, they've got 40 feet. What the hell was you saying that was out of range? Weird. Is going to go for Smush.
No, I don't even have any blood.
It's not smart enough to know that, but we'll see what happens.
Oh,
Seemingly, like it digs into you, goes to drain blood, and can't find any blood to drain, so it just sort of looks at you with disgust. Like, you can clearly see disgust on this thing, like...
what's so natural ones in combat?
Yep.
I think I remember you mentioning.
Yep, so something bad might happen. So let's... I'm gonna...
Gains up.
In this case, I am gonna...
With honey.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it is stuck on you, so you will have advantage on your attack.
Okay. Is that me now?
Yes, you are up next. You will have advantage on your attack against this one.
Okay, that may be so. But Amrig, I see one literally pumping the blood out of him, and
yeah,
I'm gonna try move around, or can I hit him from here? Because this thing is on Amrig's. Like,
yeah, I'll
square,
say you
right?
can hit him from there. Yeah, because he's on
From where
Amrig.
I am. Perfect. Okay, then I'm gonna like reach up and try to stab at the Sturge on Amrig.
Unfortunately, you miss.
Yep. I don't know how to use these weapons.
Yep, you stab, but no use. Now it is Amrig's turn.
Alright, so everyone's tried to hit this thing off me and they've not managed to do it so far. So I think I'm going to give it a go now.
Yep.
I should have had no, never mind. I don't have proficiency with that. Oh.
Yeah.
Why is it check? It's checking their sight line rather than attacking.
So alt click checks their sight line, and then you have to click on the item in your inventory to attack.
Ah.
So that's basically checking if there's any cover that it can detect.
Yeah.
You go to stab at it. Your dagger,
Oh my God.
the short sword you have, slams into the ground and shatters.
No worries. I have another. I'm gonna pull the dagger out of my beard.
Hey. Offhand attack.
You could try an offhand attack, technically, which would mean we'll have to do some minuses off of it, but you can try with the dagger if you want.
You know, it was a pleasure to work with all.
Yes. Because I don't want this thing on me.
Unfortunately, it's a miss because there'd be penalties to it anyway. So, yep, that's a miss. Bringing it on to the next Sturge.
I think there's penalties to the damage, i.e. he doesn't add damage, but I think he's still the same to hit.
I thought... I can never remember. 2-weapon fighting.
It just doesn't add dex to it.
Yes, doesn't add.
You don't add your dex modifier to the damage, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought like one of them you needed dual wielder to add, and one of them needed 2-weapon fighting.
So
I'll have a look after the session, but for now I'll just rule it as that. Perhaps because these daggers are weird. Who knows? Either way, it wouldn't have hit anyway. It didn't hit, so didn't match in this case. So, this Sturge seeing. Why is that saying that's too far? And also, how is that measuring it out? I don't even remember importing that, adding that tool. Oh, I think it's doing diagonals. But that still says 40 feet. So I'm just working this out. Why is it?
You can set diagonals to
Yeah, it is. But then it has a 40-foot. Oh, it's not taking into account its flight speed. It's taking into account its normal speed. That makes sense. I see what it's doing. So this one, seeing that Jorah is leaking blood, we'll go at Jorah. And was not meant to hit Smush, so I will undo the damage on Smush.
Oh god.
But Jorah is unconscious.
wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
You only have 9 health. You've been hit by it for 5 and 4.
Yep. On the first down of the game.
Yeah. This Sturge is going to go for Midas. Well, this is going entirely in my favour at the moment. Nice. I did 7 damage. I rolled max damage on Midas, damn. The other one couldn't get you. This one got through the hole in your clothing, perhaps, and that the other one had made and manages to latch on. Which brings it to the other one that's on you, but not attached. It's going to try again. And misses. This one really can't get onto you.
Oh god.
This next one, which is the dead one, this next one, which is latched onto Amrig, is going to automatically roll some damage against him because he's latched on, so he doesn't have to roll an attack. And
Thank god it's minimum.
does 4 more damage to you, bringing you down to 1 HP.
Jesus.
This Sturge is the boss.
So you know the Pokemon noise when he goes to like 1 HP on Pokemon. It's like ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom,
Yep.
ba-doom.
Jorah,
That's all of us right now.
death saving throw.
Right. I'm assuming I press the skull.
Yep. So that is a success.
Just.
Midas, you've got 1 Sturge latched into you. The other trying to latch into you, and then there's 1 latched into Ambric, and 1 behind you that seems to have got annoyed. It's stuck to the ground, so you would have advantage on it.
Which one, sorry?
This
The
one.
one behind you.
I'm going to attempt the one that's latched onto me first.
Okay, which is this bottom one here.
Yeah. Come on. Come on!
You got a dagger.
Yeah, the dagger's coming out as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to.
Yep.
I need to get that. Come on!
Oh,
It's so dead.
This is
Does
One-
10 hit?
balls.
No.
Nope. This Sturge that was on you, but obviously couldn't find any blood is, I'm going to say it has to use its action to get back into the air. And and it's going to sort of fly over to Midas, but can't do anything this turn. Smush, what would you like to do?
Oh no. Panicking. Smush runs around to here.
Kill something.
And this is a Hail Mary right here. But I'm going to attempt to cast a spell. I don't
Okay.
even know if I can pull this off, but fuck it, let's
Okay. So I think I know what spell you're going for.
yeah.
So let me just check the spell in
You
question.
see Smush is picking up that fish head
Yeah.
from earlier, which he found in the kitchen. And he grabs a hold of it and squeezes the fish head. Do I have to roll an intelligence check?
Yep. Roll me an intelligence check.
And he's just hoping this works. My God, no, we're so dead.
Unfortunately, no, it does not.
The fish head just squelches in his
Yeah.
hands, and that's kind of it. I'll back away, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Hamrig,
I'll,
it's
I'll
your
go
turn.
behind this drow. I'll go behind this drow here. That's it.
He just sort of looks at you with disdain, but then smiles at your attempts. Amrig.
Okay. I mean, I can see Jorah's down. I guess. Oh, they're both bonus actions. Damn it. Oh no, I've got a bonus action and a. Okay, right. I'm going to attempt to cast Healing Word on Jorah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
I'm gonna need from you a wisdom check. Just okay. So this,
It was on a 19, and then it rolled.
as I said, there is a chance when magic fails, particularly spectacularly, that something might go awry.
Oh lordy.
D100 roll, please.
Can I just say one thing very quickly?
Yep.
Welcome to Roll for Story, Dave.
Right, let me check my table.
It was on a 19. I was like,
Yeah.
yes.
Your beard turns invisible again.
Are you kidding?
He rolled the same thing on the dice. He rolled a 90 last time and an 89 this time. They're the same thing. And that's just the sort of flavor I'm putting in this case, because what's messing with the magic is the collar, and the collar is sort of under his beard.
Well, that's my bonus action. My action, I'm going to touch myself and cast Cure Wounds.
Can't do that.
You can't, because you can't do an action and a bonus action spell on the same turn unless one of them is a cantrip.
Yeah. So you could do a cantrip right now, or you could swing your sword.
Yeah.
Well,
that's official rules as written, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Well then I guess I will just try and swing at it with me dagger.
Yeah, you can go for your dagger.
Oh yeah, you haven't even got a sword.
Yep,
Oh.
shattered the sword. To be honest, all you need to do is hit these things.
Yeah.
They are the squishiest things in the world. And
Have we not been throwing?
And with that, the one that was attached to you is splattered.
Amazing. Amazing.
The one that's on Tang.
Oh,
unless you
I was
wanted
to
to
say,
move.
I did. I was gonna move here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Yeah, that's fine. You can move there, which means you would get flanking on these two.
That was the idea.
Yeah. Now, the one that's on Jura automatically gets a damage to them, which isn't an attack roll, so I'm not going to classify as a crit, but that is one failed death save.
Oh no. Jora just looking more and more pale in the corner.
Yeah, and Bibble just watching.
I hate
Oh
you,
my
James.
god.
Bibble, and right. You don't know why Bibble's just watching, but Bibble is just watching. The sturge that is lodged into you, which is this bottommost one, is going to auto-roll its damage on you, Midas. It's 4 damage, which unfortunately puts you unconscious.
Yeah.
The other sturge that is on you is now going to make an attack roll with advantage against you,
Oh god.
because you are now prone. It misses.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Most intense battle with Sturges I've ever seen.
Jora.
Just a
Yeah.
sorry, I know it's not my turn, but just a quick one. I've got Circle of Mortality as one of my abilities.
Yeah.
So when I would normally roll 1 or more dice to restore hit points with a spell to a creature at 0 hit points,
You would.
I instead just use the highest possible.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I'm
does
an
that mean
idiot.
Jora would be
No,
I
because
wouldn't have been at 0.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been at 0.
Why?
Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier plus your warlock level.
Yeah, you forgot to do that, so it hasn't
Yep.
applied in this case.
I know, but
Yeah, remember for next
if
time.
I survive, well,
Yeah, but Jora, death save.
I'll say now, it's a pleasure to know you guys.
That's a success.
It's alright, I saw the 2 and I was like, oh, here we go.
Midas.
When we attempt to cast these spells and they fail, does it use the spell slot?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Midas, that's a success. The drow sort of looks at Smush for a moment and then starts walking towards Jora. This other Sturge is going to, seeing that nothing is on Amrig and he's looking pretty bloody, is going to go for Amrig.
Oh god. Don't you dare. Oh.
About it flies over your head.
Whichever god you worship is smiling upon you right now.
Smush.
Yes, the god Smush.
What are you gonna do?
You know, he's got to try it again. He's just got to. Because right now,
Yeah.
the only thing he knows how to do, the sword is obviously proved completely useless in his hands.
Yeah.
He's going to grab that fish head once again. And he puts it on the floor, lines it up here, and then just jumps on top of the fish head, trying to squeeze out all of its guts.
Intelligence check.
Okay. And I don't know if the collar being slightly busted is going to help at all.
I am taking into consideration.
Okay. All right then. Good luck. 16.
That is enough.
Oh my god, yes, finally. Okay. So as the fish head, all the guts explode out of it. They suddenly warp into like a mushy, yellowy substance. And as it coats these 3 sturge,
Yep.
they all need to roll a dex save.
Yep. Let's see. Dex.
Oh man. Oh man. It's fine. It's fine. I think they do. Okay, that was a fail. And that is
The
let's
top
see.
one succeeded, the other two
fail.
didn't.
That's the one, yeah. So the first one succeeded. The other two get coated in these fish guts, and then immediately you hear a sizzling sound as the fish guts actually disintegrate the two sturge,
Yeah.
and their bodies lay in a pile of acid. And that'll be at the start of their turn anyway, but I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah, a creature
that's gonna
takes
happen regardless.
2d4 damage at the start of their turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's
right there.
Yep. So, um, Amrig, you can see that these two are now coated in fish guts, which looks like it might be slowly dissolving them. So it's just this one above you that seems, and the one next to Jorah that seem to be a threat.
Amazing. Seeing that Midas is down, I've now just looked at my Circle of Mortality ability, and I can cast Spare the Dying as a cantrip at a range of 30 feet as a bonus action.
Yep. So you could move.
So I am go. Yeah, I could move and do it to Jorah because Jorah's been down longer.
I've got
what is-
I've succeeded 2 death saving throws.
Oh, you're fine then. I'll cast it on Midas.
Okay, again, I'm going to need an wisdom check from you.
Wisdom check indeed. Let's go.
And that is enough. Midas, you stabilize. So you are now stable.
Let's go.
Still unconscious, but stable.
Amric's gonna look at him and be like, "I'm not finished with you just yet," and then he's gonna take a swing with his action at the thing
Yep.
above me.
Go for it.
Our luck has finally turned.
Hopefully.
Is it enough? Oh my god, I spoke to you.
I was so close
Yeah.
to being a 17.
Yeah, and on this Sturge's turn, it's gonna give Jura another failed death save.
So you're on
Oh,
two fails.
Yep,
That's 2
unfortunately.
success, 2
Oh,
fail,
dear.
yeah.
Lord on me.
And
So at the
this,
start of that Sturge's
well,
coach burns
and
up.
this Sturge, yeah, it burns away.
And so does that one.
As does that one.
Sizzling fish gut. It probably smells disgusting,
Yep,
but it just saved Midas's life.
yep.
You would have thought fish guts could be useful. That kitchen was one of the best places to take Smoosh. He got butter. He got like so many material components. for his
Jorah.
spell.
Death save.
Yep.
Success. You stabilize.
God damn it, that was close.
Midas, you're unconscious. This drow walks over to you, plucks the Sturge out of you, and then just places it on his shoulder before walking over here. And then he looks to watch Amrig and the last remaining Sturge, who is going to go for an attack against you.
Oh my god! If everyone goes unconscious, oh my god! What? No! Am I the only one left alive? Here?
Smush, you're the last one standing.
Lord, is it me right now? My go. Fuck! No! I see Amrik fall to the ground. I have a massive proboscis stuck in his neck.
Yeah.
And
through his invisibeard.
I will pick up his dagger. They fell to the ground right with him. And I'll grab it and I'll try and slice this thing's head off. It's the best I can do, but let me just check if I'm even proficient. Yes, I'm proficient with daggers. Hell yeah. Alright, let's give this a shot. I don't think it's adding my proficiency, but we'll see in a second. Am I flanking as well, technically?
They're unconscious, so no, but you still
Oh,
hit
yeah, no problem.
and you knock them unconscious. And with
Yes,
that,
finally.
the combat is over.
Covered in blood and honey.
The drow claps his hands, and the weapons, or what was left of them, disappears apart from the daggers that you stole. He walks up and picks up those, so you no longer have those. And then looks to each of you and just sort of looks at Bibble and just goes, well, it seems that you survived. And I'll say that despite a bit of bad luck there and a bit of stupidity, you did a pretty good job. So I'm going to keep that in mind. But for now,
Instead of my freedom, can you bring back Amric? He's still bleeding.
oh, he just sort of walks over to Amrig and just stares at him for a moment, and I'm going to have him roll a wisdom check and see what he does. He,
I assist him.
what he does, cruelly, he pushes his fingers into the wound,
Oh, God.
like digging them in deep, and then pulls out which I'm going to say gives you one failed death save, Dave, but it's not going to be important. Pulls out a small chunk of the proboscis that was lodged in still. And then as he pulls that out, you see the wound heal slightly. Enough that the bleeding stops at least. But there's clearly a mark there. And he just sort of looks, your freedom was never on the cards, but, you know.
Oh, but just in case it was.
I admire your optimism, but for now, I will go get the young priestess to heal you, and then you will be returned back to your dorms. And he does refer to them as dorms. He walks out, spits on Jura, just for the hell of it. Opens the door.
I'll remember that. No, I won't. I'm unconscious.
Yeah, and a few minutes later, you shouldn't be there. You should be over there. Sorry, just adjusting where some of my tokens are. A few moments later, well, not a few moments, it's a few minutes where Smush, you're sort of left your own devices with Bibble, the only other conscious person there.
Trying to like get them to their feet and seeing just how much blood has been drained from them. I guess they're not getting up anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'll go over to the orc. Does he seem conscious?
He's like vaguely conscious, but quite delirious.
Got that relentless endurance.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Are you okay? You need help?
Romt is fine, little one. But it seems they only brought out a few against you.
Oh no.
A little while later, as you're having this conversation, a young woman in similar attire to the priestess but less fancy walks in. She walks past each of the party that are unconscious.
gonna pick up a small little bone here as well if I could.
Yeah. And
Just a small one.
heals each of them. Wow.
Wow.
Really good
back to
roll.
Mac.
On... yeah, really good roll on that. And then this Sturge has gone with its master. Sort of
I'm alive.
looks at you as you've woken up. He's currently undoing the chains on Ront. And then sort of stands over here waiting to see what you do.
We survived. They're all dead.
You did this?
There is definitely a smell of rotting fish and dissolving
Mm,
bug in the air.
no, all of them.
Sorry, where's this drow who's come in?
Up here.
Okay. So
And combat,
I'm
by the way.
Oh, yeah. And combat. Sorry. Let me do
I'm
that.
Heal me
going
as well.
She has not healing
Very
you
well.
because you are not unconscious.
Oh, goddamn. I fall on the ground.
She
reach
looks
around.
she looks to you and just sort of goes, "Get up, Shroom. You're not dead yet."
Oh,
I reach around to see if I can find my dagger that I had.
Your dagger is gone.
I pass you the bone.
Damn it.
Secretly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've been given a bone. The mushroom has given you a bone. Take that as you will.
I can make use of this.
Now then, it appears that Loth has plans in mind for you if you actually won that encounter. So, well done.
Define one.
You're not dead.
yeah, I count that. That's a victory there.
Now, shortly, some of the guards will be here to escort you back to the prison. You are done with your duties for the day, so you'll be able to rest and do whatever it is you sort of folk do to, I don't know, whatever you do after battle, I guess, but I have been informed by Nilhan that you all hid certain tools on you. Now, this sort of sneakiness and treachery is not something we will overlook, but it is not something that we are necessarily going to punish you for as of yet. But consider this a warning that funny business such as that will not always be tolerated. Am I understood?
Yes, but wouldn't treachery incline that we are on the same side? Which we are not. We're prisoners.
Yes. But you have done stuff against we Drow, and we consider that to be a great betrayal against your superiors. But treachery and betrayal is in the nature of Drow.
I was
So,
about to say, that sounds like a drow thing.
so for now, purely out of curiosity, as we want to see how this will proceed, we will continue to observe and we will not punish